Michelle Reinen from the Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection is our guest. She's an administrator with that organization. Let's talk about imposter scams this month.
Yeah, so companies sometimes contact customers to pitch their products at a reduced price, and you're usually an active customer for them to do that, and they will offer you additional benefits. But these pitches are also used by scammers who are impersonating real companies, and consumers might get a call, a text, or email offering to lower their bill or upgrade their current services at reduced rates. And we've certainly had one circulating in our state pretty heavily recently. They want to say in order for you to receive this discounted rate, consumers could be asked for information like an account number, your PIN number, and payment information. And then once that scammer gets that information, what can happen is they can contact the real company, impersonate you, and then try and steal even more of your data or make fraudulent purchases in your name and reroute the services from the consumer paying for them to the scammer. The account takeover situation. We've had a recent imposter of Spectrum circulating in our state. It's been across the country, actually, that it's been reported, and scammers are impersonating Spectrum, making claims with consumers that they need to provide private information over the phone. This is also by text and by email, and that they need to pay money, and usually they're saying cryptocurrency gift cards or a banking app, and that they have to reship a package from Spectrum mistakenly delivered to them. So use a shipping label that they're going to provide. So there's lots of different twists to this, and Spectrum does have information on their website about these scammers that are out there impersonating them.
That's another scary one because, Spectrum users and consumers sometimes might just easily get fooled by that thinking it's legit.
Absolutely. And Spectrum is relied on by many consumers for their internet, their phone, and their television service. So that's three avenues where they can definitely get a lot of personal information. And so you always want to validate and be sure you are actually dealing with legitimate Spectrum. And the best way to do that is call them yourself. Don't respond when you get a phone call from them out of the blue offering you a new opportunity. You should be able to get that opportunity if you call them direct.
It seems we've talked a lot over the years about Publishers Clearinghouse on our program, Michelle, but another thing, it is the season again, isn't it?
It is the season again, and as well, they are impersonated quite often. So this is a company that holds sweepstakes. We know that. It's often impersonated by scammers. And so those scammers can claim that a consumer has won a prize, but to receive the winnings, you have to send them money, and that you also send Publishers Clearinghouse back a small percentage of the deposited winnings after cashing the prize check. But later, any check you've received from them is going to bounce, and really you've sent your own money because that's just part of a fake check scam that the scammer is putting in place. And then there's the version where in order to get your prize, they want your bank account information so they can do a direct deposit, but you're handing that over to the scammer as well. Just know that the legitimate Publishers Clearinghouse is never going to demand any form of payment or personal private information in exchange for one of their prizes. And your winnings will come out of your taxes and fees will come out of your winnings, out of your prize, not that you need to pay them up front. And of course, if you've never entered, you're not going to be winning. So just hang up on that when you receive that contact.
Unexpected package delivery. That kind of dovetails into this a little bit too. Free gifts are fun, but not always legitimate, right?
Yeah, so this is about brushing scams. And this is something we talked about during COVID, that it really popped up in the United States. But this is when an unexpected package lands on your doorstep. It may come from come with a higher cost than expected. But what happens here is the scammers send people fake luxury items like rings, beauty products, and even Bluetooth speakers. And what's happening is they're brushing up. That's why it's called a brushing scam, or they're trying to increase the scammer's sales in their statistics so they get a better rating and score and can reach more people. So these scammers are selling knockoff merchandise, and they find consumers' mailing addresses or other personal information online. And so they randomly send consumers goods that they've never ordered, use their information to post fake online reviews for the products in the consumer's name, which then that helps boost their sales overall because, again, they're getting that better return.
What happened recently involving QR codes? That's kind of a new twist, isn't it?
It is. It's a brand new twist. So maybe you got a package that had a QR code. So if a package a consumer didn't order includes a QR code, scanning it could actually take that consumer to a phishing website that steals that personal information like a credit card number or usernames and passwords. It could also download malware onto that phone and give hackers access to the device. So if you get a package that you didn't order, it means someone likely has your personal information. You don't want to click or access a QR code to inquire any further. What you really want to do is change your passwords on all online shipping accounts that you may have because they could have been compromised. Consider using multi-factor authentication on any accounts that could be impacted. Check your credit report, and you can do that for free weekly at annualcreditreport.com because you just want to monitor your personal information. And again, avoid contacting the sender, and that means don't even access any QR code that could be on that package.
If you get a leg lamp in the mail like they did in the Christmas Story, you probably should beware there too, shouldn't you?
Yes, you should. Just be sure any product you didn't order.
Yeah, if it says fragile.
Yeah, just disregard those things and, maybe check with your family member that, most often pulls pranks on you.
Right, exactly. Well, one other thing, we're into tax season now, and I think you have some tips for those that are early filers, don't you?
Yeah, we want early filers because we want everyone to avoid tax-related identity theft. Because at this time when we get into tax season, it means identity thieves are going to try and steal customers' tax returns by filing that with stolen information. And they, of course, want to get to it before you do, any return that's existing. So we want consumers to file early. But there are some preventative measures that can minimize the risk of tax identity theft any tax season, and that's by setting up an identity protection PIN with both the federal IRS at irs.gov and the Wisconsin Department of Revenue at revenue.wi.gov. These identity protection pins add an extra layer of security to consumers' tax filings by preventing someone else from being able to file a tax return in your name, even if they have your personal information. Some other tips, again, I've said it, file early, do so securely. If you're transmitting over Wi-Fi, be sure it's secure and not open in a public Wi-Fi system. Don't store that sensitive data on the device. You'll have it on, process your tax records, and then get it off your computer again. Don't store it there all year. And then shred the unneeded documents. You'll have to keep appropriate records, but shred the things that you don't need and protect your mail. Get to the post office to mail your tax records if that's how you're going to file. But then also, if you are awaiting a check, be sure that you have a nice secure system to receive your mailing there.
Because they will send those, if you've asked for a PIN number, they will send those in a mailer, too.
Yes, you need to be watching for your information because the government works by mail to make sure that you know that it's legit, and they will be transparent about how you should expect to receive that information.
Well, if anybody experiences tax-related identity theft, what should they do, Michelle?
You can contact Consumer Protection so we can help you sort through the steps. But you also, if it's tax related specifically, contact the Wisconsin Department of Revenue as soon as possible, and also contact the IRS as soon as possible so they can put a pause on those tax records and flag things and secure them and work with you on that recovery. You can call our Consumer Protection Hotline to get that contact information, and you can reach us at 1-800-422-7128.
Well, we hope that some of the discussion today, maybe we can keep somebody out of a jam. We'd be doing our job then, wouldn't we?
Yes, I certainly hope so. I mean, if people want more information on brushing or ID theft to see it in writing, they can go to our website at datcp.wi.gov or just reach out, call, ask us questions. We are happy to assist.
All right. Well, I see your name quoted across the wire in some of the state stories, so we feel fortunate that we get the scoop from you every month, Michelle. Thanks for joining us here.
Well, thank you for helping me spread the word.
You bet. Michelle Reinen joining us from Wisconsin Consumer Protection here on WRCO's Morning Show.